The morning light poured through the glass windows of Maplewood Diner, painting silver streaks across the tables. Normally, the place smelled of butter, coffee, and syrup, a safe haven for comfort and laughter. But today, that warmth couldn't push away the chill settling in the air. Something darker was brewing. At a booth near the window sat Clara, a girl in a wheelchair, her plate of pancakes resting in front of her like fragile armor. She looked calm, almost graceful, but her trembling hands betrayed the storm inside. Clara had grown used to whispers, to stares that lingered too long, but what came next was far worse. At the booth beside her sat a group of teenage boys, their laughter sharp and cruel. One of them leaned over smirking. Without warning, he slapped her plate from her lap, sending pancakes splattering across the tiled floor. Another shoved her wheelchair back just to hear her gasp. The entire diner froze. Forks stopped mid-air. Coffee cups hovered in shaking hands. But the bullies' laughter rang loudest of all, echoing through the silence like broken glass. Clara's eyes shimmered with tears. She tried so hard not to cry, but humiliation burns deeper than pain. If you believe kindness should always rise above cruelty, that no one deserves to be treated this way, take a moment to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Together we can remind the world that compassion is stronger than hate. Clara had never known an easy road. Born with a spinal condition, she had spent her life in a chair, learning to carry burdens most people couldn't imagine. Her parents told her spirit could soar, even if her legs could not. She tried to believe that, but every day came with its battles. Strangers staring too long, pitying smiles that cut deeper than words. Yet nothing compared to this moment in the diner. This wasn't pity. This was cruelty sharpened into a weapon. The boys cheered like they'd won a game. Around them, adults shifted uncomfortably but kept their heads down. A waitress froze in the aisle, balancing coffee cups, her face caught between fear and outrage. And Clara. Clara bent forward, trying to scoop up her ruined pancakes with shaky hands, desperate not to draw more attention. That's when another hand appeared. Not mocking, not cruel, gentle. An older man, gray streaks in his hair, crouched beside her. Quietly, he picked up the plate, set it back on the table and whispered, "Don't mind them." His voice was soft, but his nervous eyes flicked toward the bullies. His kindness was a flicker of light in a room full of shadows, but Clara still felt exposed, broken in places no one could see. She sat in silence, appetite gone, her chest heavy with questions she couldn't voice. Why do people think it's okay to hurt those who are different? Why does cruelty come so easily? The boys bragged louder now, boasting about what they'd done as though it was bravery, not cowardice. Each burst of laughter hit Clara like a hammer. She closed her eyes, wishing for the moment to pass, praying for it all to end. Then, it happened. A low rumble stirred outside, faint at first, like distant thunder rolling across the sky. The sound grew, shaking the windows, pulling every gaze toward the street. One by one, motorcycles filled the parking lot, chrome flashing in the sun. Dozens of engines roared in perfect rhythm, commanding silence inside the diner. And when the riders dismounted, the sight of their jackets sent a ripple of fear through the room. Stitched across their backs in bold, unmistakable letters. Hell's Angels, the bullies who only moments ago ruled the diner with arrogance. Suddenly shifted in their seats. Their smirks faded. Their bravado cracked. The bullies' smirks began to fade. Everyone in the diner knew the reputation of the Hell's Angels, fierce, fearless men who never backed down. The diner door swung open with a soft jingle, but the silence that followed was heavy enough to crush the room. The first man through the door was massive, his beard long, his eyes like steel. His leather vest carried stories in every patch stitched across it. Behind him came another, and another, until the small diner felt like it was shrinking. The air itself vibrated with tension. Clara's breath caught. Her pulse thundered in her ears. Fear, yes, but also something else. Wonder. Safety. For the first time since the bullies touched her wheelchair, she didn't feel alone. The leader stepped forward, his gaze cutting across the room like a blade. It lingered on the bullies, who instantly stiffened in their seats. Then, His expression softened when his eyes landed on Clara. He walked toward her, boots thudding on the tile, each step making the silence stretch tighter. Then he knelt beside her chair, and just like that, Clara no longer felt small. She felt seen. She felt protected. The man, his name was Raw, slowly turned toward the bullies. His voice came low, steady, but powerful enough to slice through the silence like thunder. Clara couldn't hear every word, but she didn't need to. She saw it on the bullies' faces, the shift from arrogance to shame. Their bravado crumbled. Their pale skin betrayed their guilt. One by one they slid out of the booth, their heads bowed, their mouths shut. They didn't dare meet Clara's eyes again. When they pushed through the door, they found the parking lot blocked by a wall of motorcycles, chrome and leather forming an iron barricade. The bullies scurried away like shadows chased by the sun, but Raw wasn't finished. He called the waitress over, pulling a thick bill from his pocket and dropping it on the table. "Bring her anything she wants," he said. "Pancakes, pie, milkshake, the whole menu if she likes." Then he looked Clara straight in the eye. "You're stronger than any coward who tried to break you." The entire diner seemed to hold its breath as he reached up, unclipped his own vest, and draped it gently over Clara's shoulders. The weight wasn't heavy, it was protective, warm. "You're family now," he said. Tears filled Clara's eyes, but these weren't tears of humiliation. They were tears of gratitude. In just 1 hour, her entire morning had transformed. What began in cruelty had turned into a moment of courage, compassion, and belonging. She realized something powerful. Kindness doesn't always come from where you expect it. Sometimes the toughest-looking people carry the gentlest hearts. The diner erupted in quiet applause. Some people wiped at their eyes. The waitress leaned down to hug Clara, whispering that she would never again sit in that diner feeling invisible. And Clara finally felt hope flooding her chest, fierce and bright, because yes, cruelty exists. But so does courage, and sometimes strangers can rewrite the ending of your story. If this moment touched your heart, if it reminded you that kindness can rise in the unlikeliest of places, please like this video, share it with friends, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. And before you go, I have one request. Comment below. Tell us, what would you have done if you were in that diner? Would you have stood up for Clara? Your words might inspire someone else to choose courage when the moment arrives.